Though it's the sports entities under the directive to realign their governing documents in accordance with the new Sports Act, the people to adhere and implement this act are the different stakeholders, including athletes, sports administrators, the media, and the like.
For the athletes, it's important that they also take cognizance of the new law, because either you'll be an amateur or a professional. So if you're a professional athlete, you'd have to be in a federation that covers both. But right now, most of our athletes in the Olympic system are amateur, maybe semi-professional. So I think it's important that athletes get to know what is in the law. Is their association covering both amateur and professional? In that case, it will be a federation. There are going to be questions around, as an athlete, there are going to be new dispensation on how agents, promoters, and managers operate, because this deals directly with athletes. The issue of anti-doping is very relevant to athletes. The issue of image rights is very important for athletes, because some athletes are very popular and they need to protect their image rights. The issues of academies and licensing. So there are a number of things that will be touching upon athletes, which they need to be fully aware of. Athletes who are below the age of 16 need to be supervised and under adult supervision, cannot just participate in sport. So there are all those kind of issues that athletes need to be fully aware of as being part of the ecosystem of sports.
Donald Rukare, a sports lawyer and administrator, emphasizes that with the new guidelines, sports administrators should not take anything for granted.
In the long run, we're trying to streamline. I think what is being trying to be done in Uganda is to streamline the sports sector. So, as I said earlier, the National Sports Act has a number of provisions which are new in nature and are yet to be tested. I think if I was to get out some of them, one will be the issue of agents, managers, and promoters. So this is a new area. They're going to be licensing and certification rules. For example, under football, right now FIFA requires for you to become an agent, you must do the FIFA exam. There are 2 exams in a year. So as I said, even when you look at this law, we have to take into account what are Uganda's obligations internationally. So under football, currently even under FIFA, to become an agent, you have to do the exam of FIFA. So federations and associations will put in place these certification rules for agents, promoters, and managers. The question around how officials being able to understand their obligations when it comes to issues to do with manipulation of sport, anti-doping, hooliganism, exploitation of athletes is also a big issue. Safeguarding is also covered in this law. So as administrators, it's important that they get to know, depending at what level. If you're an administrator of a federation, there are very many other compliance. So, for example, financial auditing, annual reports, annual meetings, you must have a CEO. So all those you must submit your reports to quarterly to or biannually to National Council of Sports. So and of course, if you're a company, there'll also be some reporting requirements under the Companies Act. If you have employees under Uganda Revenue Authority, paying your payee, NSSF, local government tax. So there are a number of things that will have to come into play. Being familiar with the public procurement and disposal regulations of the government, the financial management, PFM, public financial management aspect. So there's a lot. You need to also be familiar with the National Development Plan, because if you're to be writing activities, work plans, and you're going to be accessing public resources, you need to be fully aware of how do the activities you're proposing in your federation association's work plan and budget align to the government priorities in the National Development Plan 4. So all these things are kind of interlinked, and that's why we're already doing a lot of capacity building and awareness for the federations and associations at different levels. If you're an administrator, that is more the compliance. If you're a club owner, you have to comply, because now if it's a community club, which has very many other sports, you have to register with the National Council of Sports. So those kind of things, we need to have the different stakeholders understanding the different expectations, rights and duties and obligations under the law.
He continues to emphasize the importance of the media and their role in sports development under the new guidelines.
New areas have been introduced that I alluded to earlier. Image rights. So now you don't just take people's images without their permission. So it's going to be very critical. 2, the national federations and associations are the rights holders of their various events. So in order now, there's what they call unauthorized access to facilities. That's in the law. So now, in order for a person or the member of the media to attend a swimming competition, they have to get the accreditation or permission of the requisite national federation or association. It's no longer just walking in. So that's what we have to be fully aware of. Even the broadcast, unless you have been accredited or you have the rights, either you've paid for them or they've been signed off, just being able now to report and broadcast on some of these things, you might find yourself in breach. So the media needs to take time to also read and understand the new provisions of the law, because for some of the bigger federations, they already have their own deals, which they sign with particular media houses, journalists. So to access a particular game or facility, nowadays it may be, going forward, maybe an issue of accreditation. But of course it will take time, Grace, for people for these things to fully come on board. But definitely the law provides for, you need to have authorized access as media to these events. And this is coming from the National Federation or the association, either through accreditation, through broadcast deals. If they're, for example, signed an exclusive with a particular broadcast house, then no one else can come in. So these are things now that we're going to see. Keep in mind that we're just barely 1.5 years into the new law. It will take time for all these things to settle down.
We conclude this series in the next episode as we tackle the issue of spectators, hooliganism, and stadium bans. Grace Joyce Kemingisa, UBC News.